What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday to you. Break number 1089BD, 1089BD. This is 2025 Topps WWE Universe. Pick your wrestler break. That's right, guys. WWE is back with Universe, finally. Good luck to everybody. Dog Pound. We're looking for some Uncle Howdy in the bloodline. I hear ya. $12 boxes in the break. All right. There's 6. Eight, 10, and 12. Guess that one wants to be first. There we go. Kevin Owens 2. Got it, bro. Randy Orton, Stephanie Vaquer, and The Rock. Surely, after 4 attempts, I can pull a Rhea. Okay, let's go. Let's get into this, guys. First box is going to go a little slower because this is my first time ripping this. So, I mean, I've watched a few breaks, but I've not ripped it myself. So I want to enjoy it and see what's in here. And then we will go on to ripping a little bit faster. We got 10 packs in here. That one seemed like a double pack. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that first one, nope, that first one's got a nice monster patch. Nice monster patch. Alright, box number 1, my friends. Here we go. Candice LeRae. I love Candice LeRae. What's up, Kendrick? Alright, here we go, guys. Beautiful cards. What do we got here? That is our first numbered card. We got R-Truth, 30 out of 99. 30 out of 99. Give me a second. I cheat, guys. I cheat. I made myself a cheat sheet. I made myself a cheat sheet so I know what all the inserts are. So that would be called Gold Stone. Gold Stone. Cool. So that way. Alright. And we got the foreign objects. That's Sami Zayn. Where we start. There is Damian Priest on the WrestleMania Survivor Series Ultimate Undertaker. Jesus. Miz on WrestleMania. Kofi Kingston. Gigi Dolan. This one is D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown, it looks like on the flares. AJ Styles on the Phenomenal one. That's a sick hit. That looks like a red, white, and blue or something. And our first auto goes to Tonga Loa. Tonga Loa on card auto. Money in the Bank. There is Seth Rollins. Not numbered. Rage. There is China on the 5 out of 50. That is on the blast. China on the blast. There's a nice Candice LeRae base so to start you off. Mankind, Bob Orton, Steve Austin. There is Money in the Bank, International Impact of Io Sky. Kurt Angle. SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. There is Star Potential, Jey Uso. That is a Rings, it's called. Rings of Caden Carter. Oh my goodness. My brain totally shut down there. There is Charlotte Flair, Damian Priest, Ultimate Warrior, and Ultimate Warrior. Okay. Alright, not bad. Like I said, we got a monster patch here. We're going to save that. Alright, here we go. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam. Stone Cold Steve Austin on the ring leaders. Foreign Objects, Alexa Bliss. That is Big E. Ken Shamrock, WrestleMania. John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Kurt Angle. There's Cody Rhodes on the Money in the Bank. China. I think this is called nameplates or something. On the namesakes. And our next auto is Sol Ruca, 7 out of 99. 7 out of 99, Sol Ruca. That's a nice auto right there. 7 out of 99, Sol Ruca on the auto. First auto was Tonga Loa. There is Seth frickin' Rollins on the dazzling debut, Rage of the Undertaker. Austin Theory, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. That is a Rings of Joe Coffey. Triple H on the namesake. And our patch. Here we go. That is Universe Relics, 90 out of 299, Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons, 90 out of 299. That is pretty sick. That is pretty sick. And it's super thick. Holy cow. Go. Alright, that was the first box. That was the first box. John Solon lost. That sucks, bro. Box number 2. Box number 2. These relics are huge. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm all by myself tonight, so if I don't respond to your chat, I do apologize. All number cards do get sleeved up, Browns. Yep. All number cards get sleeved. Alright, here we go. That is Booker T on the 6-time world champion. That is a SummerSlam rings of Ravishing Rick Rude. Star Portal of Braun Breaker. Remarkable Returns, CM Punk. That is Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy on the Flair. Charlotte Flair on the namesakes. Batista, Royal Rumble Flair, Rage of Bronson Reed. And how about a Legend Auto of Rikishi? Rikishi on the Legends Auto. That is a Scarlet. Scarlet, this one is actually not numbered. That is a sick insert though. Oh, that's the red, white, and blue insert. Red, white, and blue. Namesake, Becky Lynch. That is 87 out of 125 on the Green Electric Bailey. Green Electric Bailey. Rage of Finn Balor. That is a Instant Impact Crown Jewel Roman Reigns. RVD on the namesakes. That is Angel. Angel on the Flair. Foreign Objects, Honky Tonk Man. Next auto is Malik Blade. Malik Blade on the auto. That is the Great Khali. Great Khali on the dazzling debut. Rage of Nia Jax. Universe of Byron Buxton on the Flair. That is Mankind 361 out of 399. And our match used memorabilia of Gunther. And that is 26 out of 50. 26 out of 50 on the Gunther. That's box number 2. Give me a second. Not sure if these are going to fit in the 240s. We're going to give it a try. They do. There we go, in the 240s. All right. All right, box number 3. From what you've seen, there's number cards before the patches. Yeah, I think I've seen the same thing. Because that Mick Foley was right before the patch. Or the Mankind was right before the patch, so. It looks like, from what I'm seeing here, there's two numbered cards per box. Is from what I'm seeing. I can't do that, my friend, unfortunately. Can't send boxes like that. So, alright, here we go. That is in your house. That is Bret the Hitman Hart on the Instant Impact. There's Zarya on the rookie card. That is on the rings. is Survivor Series Undertaker. Rage of Cody Rhodes. There's Nikki Cross on the Flair. Remarkable Returns, John Cena. That's Scarlet. That is numbered 8 out of 25. 8 out of 25 on the Orange Warp. Orange Warp. There is D'Lo. Get the tables. There's Bray Wyatt. Our first auto is Farouk. Farouk on the auto. This one is number 23 out of 99. 23 out of 99 on the green auto. Damn. There you go. Ooh, that's nice. On the 27 out of 399 purple glass, there's Julia. Julia on the purple glass to 399. Rage of Gunther. There is Ring Leaders, The Rock. That one is numbered 43 out of 75. 43 out of 75. That is on the... That is not got a name, but that's pretty sick. Razor Ramon on the namesakes. There's Sandman on the Ring Leaders. Rage of Kurt Angle. That is Jim the Anvil Neidhart on the Flair. Alexa Bliss on the namesake. Nikita Lyons on the auto. Nikita Lyons, we've got her patch. Now we have her auto. This one is not numbered. On the Forever Factions, that is the NWO. NWO on the Forever Factions. That's a nice hit. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like inserts like that. One second, guys. Sorry. And then we're going to get to that next patch. Alright. Just wanted to check something. And I'm back. Alright, let's get to that patch. There is Foreign Objects of the Boogeyman. On the Flair, there's Ludwig Kaiser. That is Rhea Ripley. That is to 50 on the Blast. Rhea Ripley WrestleMania Blast. And our patch is upside down. It is Kane. Kane, 45 out of 50 on the Universe Relics. There we go. Nikita's the MVP so far. Got it. Box number 4. This relic's not so big. Not as big as the last 3. Probably a dual auto relic. It's a possibility. Alright, box number 4. Box number 4. There is Remarkable Returns of Cody Rhodes. Star Portal Solo Sikoa. That is a Universe of Batista on the red, white, and blue stars. Red, white, and blue stars. Not numbered. There's Axiom on the flare. International Impact. That is Big E. William Regal on the flare. Ooh, that's a patch auto. That is a patch auto to 99. That is very nice. Ooh. That is Natalia. Dude, that is a sick patch auto. No, that's not a case hit on Batista. That's an insert of a red, white, and blue. There's Hulk Hogan to $3.99. That is purple glass. Oh, it's Natty. I'm sorry. You're right. It's Natty. I don't want her to come over here and kick my ass. Star Potential Gunther. Star Potential. That is Jey Uso. Jey Uso. That's on the red, white, and blue. Oh no, that's numbered to 75. 43 of 75. You're telling me that's a case hit? There's an insert called Red, White, and Blue Stars, guys. There's an insert called Red, White, and Blue Stars. That's red, white, and blue, and it's got stars. I mean, it's going to get top loaded, but I don't believe it's a case hit. But I'll go for it, because you guys are telling me. I would think this was more of a case hit than anything. Ultimate Warrior Mask. Okay. I will put it off to the side. Absolutely. I top loaded it for you guys. You know that if you tell me something, I'm gonna believe you most of the time. Batista on the namesake. International Impact. Cactus Jack. There is Zoe Stark on the Flair. Solo Sikoa on the debut. Hulk Hogan on the auto. That's how long this product has been in the works. That they got an on-card Hulk Hogan auto. Okay. That's sick. I got it in there for you guys. I took care of it. Foreign objects, there's Randy Orton. Ring leaders of Kurt Angle. That is Rhea Ripley on the WrestleMania Flair. Rage of John Cena. That is the $1 Million Man on the rings insert. That is Floyd Mayweather. 120 out of 125. 120 out of 125 on the Floyd Mayweather. Green Electric. And that is Scarlet on the patch auto. 20 out of 25. Look at that gear, you guys. Holy shnikes. That is sick. That is sick. Wow. That is really, really cool. Scarlet is definitely the new MVP, yes. Alright, that's the first 4 boxes. Box number 5. Another big one. Yep. That was a sick box, for sure. There is debut of Rock. That is on the rings. That is Chief J Strongbow. Ringleaders of Mick Foley. Charlotte Flair on the namesake. Stephanie Vaquer on the namesake. Not numbered. RVD on the namesake. Yes, I'm sorry, that is numbered. 56 out of 75. 56 out of 75 on the Stephanie Vaquer namesake. The Bloodline Forever Factions. Foreign Objects Honky Tonk. There's Shawn Michaels on the Flair. Nia Jax on the Rage. And our auto is Mankind. This is an auto of Mankind. Not numbered on that auto. That is International Impact, John Cena. Remarkable Returns of CM Punk. That is Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn on the Flair. Cody Rhodes on the Flair. Rage, Bronson Reed. There is Michin on the Flair. Becky Lynch on the namesake. Next auto is Bradshaw. Bradshaw is our next auto. Legends auto. That one again is not numbered. That is Drew McIntyre, 43 out of 50. 43 out of 50. That's on the Blast. Foreign Objects Cactus Jack. That is Diamond Dallas Page, 265 out of 399 on the purple glass. And our patch is Asuka. What the Ringside Relics. That is 30 out of 50. 30 out of 50 on the Ringside Relic. Dude, that is sick. Yeah, it is. Dude, it feels like a piece of like cement. Alright, box number 6. International Impact, that is Xavier Woods. Dusty Rhodes on the rings. There's ringleaders of The Miz, Ultimate Warrior on the namesake. There is Shinsuke Nakamura on the Flair. Foreign Objects, Xavier Woods. There is a Flair of Razor Ramon. Rebel by Design. That is Lita, not numbered. Our first auto is Sandman. Sandman on the auto. Not numbered. That is a Tongaloa 121 out of 175. 121 out of 175. Blue Pulse. Rage of Batista. There's Money in the Bank of Damian Priest on the rings. That is a Rage of the Ultimate Warrior, not numbered. There's Ringleaders of Kevin Nash. Remarkable Returns of the Undertaker. And Billy Gunn on the Flair. That is Have a Nice Day, Mick Foley. Mick Foley. Our next auto, Raquel Rodriguez on the Flair auto. Not numbered. There's Star Portal. There's Cody Rhodes. Shinsuke Nakamura on the Rage. That is Paul Bearer on the Flair. That is Rhea Ripley to $3.99. 278 out of 399 on the WrestleMania moment. And Seth freaking Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. 139 out of 149 on the match used memorabilia. Alright, that's the first 6. Box number 7. We've had a few Rhea cards, Cap. Got it, Brian. 100 out of 175. I do not like this design. Can't see shit on these cards. I didn't like the Revolution that Panini used to put out that looked like this. Always too hard to see the cards. Love the on-card autos. I love the on-card autos. I think that's amazing. The cards themselves, I've never been a fan of the foil designs. All right, box number 7. Then to throw in all these extra things like these flares. I mean, Seth Rollins on the foreign objects. That is Charlie Dempsey, 121 out of 399. 121 out of 399. I mean, if you're gonna do that, at least put them on the put the numbers on the back of the cards. Flair of JBL. Naomi on the namesake. Somebody asked me for Candice LeRae earlier. There we go. Candice LeRae auto. $381 out of $399. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Rage of Finn Balor. That is the Road Dog. 150 out of 175. 150 out of 175 on the Road Dog. There's Stone Cold. Ringleaders of The Miz. Diesel on the Remarkable Returns. Freshly Fired Road Dog, correct. The Freshly Fired Road Dog. There you go, brother. Congratulations, Zurich. Congratulations on that Candice LeRae, my friend. I got to meet her in person. She's awesome. Awesome person. Alright, here we go. That is Bret Hart on the Flair. There is Shawn Michaels on the Namesake. Our next auto, 196 out of 199. Trick Williams on the auto to 199. You're welcome, buddy. Star Pearls of Cora Jade. There's Becky Lynch on the Rage. Shinsuke Nakamura on the Flair. There's John Cena on the Dazzling Debut. There's rings of Akira Tozawa. There's Mike Tyson. Yeah, we had an NWO card. Right there for you. That is Becky Lynch on the Ringleaders. Jake the Snake Roberts' Namesake. That is Eddie Guerrero. 144 out of 399. You're welcome. And that is RVD. 147 out of 199 on the patch. Box number 8. A numbered Flair, not a numbered auto. On the Candice LeRae, it's a numbered. It's not numbered. It is a Flair auto, not numbered. Correct. Yep. here. Okay. Okay. Nice. Let's go. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem, buddy. Got you. All right. Box number 8. That is Rhea Ripley on the International Impact. Natty on the namesake, Natalia. Star Portal, Roxanne Perez. On the rings, there's Kehlani Jordan. Nice Kehlani Jordan. That is a blue, what is that called again? Blue Pulse of Thea Hale. Blue Pulse Thea Hale. That is 27 out of 175. Hulkamania on the namesake. There is Umaga on the debut. Foreign Objects, Devon Dudley. Flair of Dirty Dom. Stone Cold Steve Austin on the namesake. This one is not numbered, but behind it. Oh my God, that's my girl. Lyra Valkyria. 19 out of 50 on the patch auto. Nice hit. 19 out of 50. That was sick. Triple H on the ringleaders. Rage of CM Punk. Jim the Anvil Neidhart. There's a Flair of Batista. Foreign Objects of Jake the Snake. Flair of Jade Cargill. There's Otis on the Rage. Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry the King Lawler is our next auto. This one is numbered to 50. 37 out of 50 on the Jerry the King Lawler auto. That is The Undertaker. 345 out of 399 on the purple glass. Ultimate Warrior on the Remarkable Returns. That is Roman Reigns. On the dazzling debut, 91 out of 99. 91 out of 99 on the gold stone. And our patch auto is to 199, or our patch is to 199, and that is Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett, 46 out of 199. Did they really have to make these patches so big, these cards so big, with such a little patch inside? Box number 9. Okay. Man, these cards. Look at that Brutus Creed card. They actually are bendable. That's disgusting. All right, here we go. That is 117 out of 175. Roman Reigns on the SummerSlam Blue Pulse. Star Portal, Seth frickin' Rollins. That is Julius Creed. That is 232 out of 399 on the purple glass. Seth frickin' Rollins on the ring leaders. Foreign Objects of Paul Bearer. There's Rhea Ripley, Star Portal. There's Big Bad Vader on the namesake. Carlito on the dazzling debut. That is Sid, Psycho Sid. Had to make sure which one it was. That's Psycho Sid on the Pulse, or the Flare, excuse me. There's Katana Chance on the Flare. International Impact Drew McIntyre. Not numbered. And that is Braun Breaker on the patch auto. 10 out of 50. 10 out of 50 Braun Breaker. We'll just, how about we add him? There we go. Nice. That is a Rage of Karrion Kross. That is Psycho Sid again on the rings. Batista on the namesake. Kane on the ring leaders. That is Charlotte Flair on the Flair. Charlotte Flair on the Flair. Liv Morgan on the Star Portal. That is, oh, that's Rocky Johnson. Rocky Johnson on the Flair. That is Asuka on the International Impact. And our next auto, how about Mr. Adam Pearce, Raw General Manager. That is KO. KO, that is 11 out of 99 on the Gold Stone. And this is 260 out of 299. Akira Tozawa. 260 out of 299 on the Relic. Box number 10. Okay, Brian. I'll keep trying. I am so not used to opening packs this way. To me, this is so slow, but we're getting through it, guys. We're getting through it. box 10. There is Xavier Woods on the International Impact. That is Mankind on the rings. I hear you, Kedrick. I hear you. I'm not trying to hurry or nothing. I just, it's awkward to open the packs like that to me. Ringleaders, The Miz, Ultimate Warrior on the namesake. There is Johnny Gargano on the Flair. Foreign Objects, Xavier Woods. That is a nice Trish Stratus. 117 out of 175. 117 out of 175 on the blue pulse. That is on the Flair, Bret Hart. Rebel by Design, Lita on the namesake. And our first auto is a second auto for the Sandman spot. Sandman auto number 2. He's got twins. Not numbered on that auto. Alright, I'll work on that for you, wifey. That is Nick Aldis, 227 out of 399. That is on the purple glass, Rage of Batista. Stop fucking around. Need a Flair of Julia. Michael Cole. Okay, let's work on those. Alright, that's a nice Triple H. That is a Triple H. 129 out of 399 on the purple glass. Rage of the Ultimate Warrior. That is Ringleaders of Kevin Nash. Remarkable Returns of the Undertaker. That is Brian Pillman, Flying Brian Pillman on the Flair. Mick Foley on the namesake. Our next auto, Dante Chen. Dante Chen, not numbered, on the Next Level auto. Yeah, the Flairs are pretty cool. They're just hard to read. They are super hard to read the names. I mean, I'm going basically off of pictures on a lot of these. There's Star Portal, Cody Rhodes. Shinsuke Nakamura on the Rage. Flair of Lola Vice. You notice I didn't have a problem with that one. I knew that was exactly Lola Vice. That right there is Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin, that is numbered 20 out of 125 on the green electric. Oh, baby! That is ring mats, though. That is Liv Morgan on the triple relic. Triple Superstar Relic, Liv Morgan. Maybe she wrestled on those that mat. And that is 21 out of 99. 21 out of 99. Down to 2 boxes, guys. 2 boxes. All right, box number 11. Is that Shotzi? They got Shotzi still in this? Jesus Christ. You know that this product should have been out about a year ago. If Shotzi's still in it. I love Shotzi, don't get me wrong. Sorry, Cap. I know, dude. Thank you. We appreciate you, Cap. Appreciate you very much. No, I have not seen that one before. I have not seen the dual auto Axiom card. All right, box 11. Reminds me a lot of Revolution, this set. That is nice. That is Chelsea Green. 109 out of 399 on the purple glass. I love Chelsea Green. Such a great performer. I mean, she's out there working in a cast and a freaking wheelchair and still doing her job. There's Jade Cargill on the dazzling debut. I love Chelsea Green. I think she is amazing in the ring, outside of the ring. Kofi Kingston on the namesake. That one may be numbered. It is. It's green. 35 out of 99. 35 out of 99 on the gold stone, it's called. Oh, absolutely, dude. She is so hateable and likable at the same time. Hateable and likable at the same time. There's Asuka. I love Chelsea. Dude, and then she takes a bump on Friday Night SmackDown with her cast and her wheelchair. Come on, dude. Seriously. Remarkable returns, Roman Reigns. There is Forever Factions of D-Generation X. There's a flare of Dominic Mysterio. There's Crown Jewels of Roman Reigns. And our auto is my boy, my favorite wrestler of all times, Bret the Hitman Hart. Love Bret Hart. He is my favorite. He is my childhood, what I grew up watching. Asuka. That is a great Kali name debut. Io Sky on the Flair. Oh, I know, dude, seriously. Did you see that match with her and Penta? Owen was better than Brett? I liked Owen. I liked Owen. He was more, and what I liked about Owen was the fact that Owen was actually had a personality. Okay? Brett was the best wrestler. In no regards, Brett was the best wrestler. Owen had that personality. So he was actually a good character. Where Brett was all about the wrestling. He didn't care about the character. He wanted to get out there and wrestle. Charlotte Flair Rage. Rings of Triple H. Seth frickin' Rollins on the namesake. That is ringleaders of Booker T. But no, I mean, I'll give you Owen Hart. He was so funny, and he would do so many different things. There we go. Ariana Grace on the Flair. Star Portals of Brock Bowers. I've been doing too much football, guys. Braun Breaker. I can't believe I called him Brock Bowers from the Raiders. Dude, I have been doing way too much football lately. What are you whatting, real dude? Is that? Oh, there she is, Kathy Kelly on the Flair. That is International Impact of Seth frickin' Rollins. And our next auto is a girl I was just talking about. Shotzi! Shotzi on the auto. On card auto to boot. She's been gone, what, 6 months? At least? What is this backwards? Dude, it's just backwards for no reason. Oh, that's why back to back. Hey, Ivor back to back. Oh, wow, nice. That is an orange warp. 20 out of 25 of Seth freaking Rollins. And then our 162 out of 299. Julius Creed. Julius Creed on the patch. Dude, that Seth Rollins is sick to 25. The Hitman made Stone Cold? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Julius has hit twice. Brutus ain't done shit. Last box, guys. Last box mojo. Can we get a super fractor? Let's go. We need a 101. A couple of HBKs, nothing big. No autos or anything yet. Alright, guys. Last 10 packs right there. Let's do this. Did we have a... Did we have a HBK Heartbreak Kid to 10? I don't remember. Alright, here's our jumbo patch. This one's out of 275. Nathan Frazier, that is 150 out of 399 on the Nathan Frazier. Yeah, I didn't think so. How about Batista? Batista! Nice hit. Dave Batista at a 275. Batista's been in every box. Almost. There he is again. There he is again. How about Forever Factions of the New Day? Shawn Michaels on the Foreign Objects. Ivar on the Flair. Yeah, we had a DX Forever Faction. Yeah, right. Neither of them hit, Jessica. I know. What's up with that? But you still got 2 hits still to come. So let's not count them out yet. All right, there is Dante Chan on the Flair. Don't make me puke. Best in the world. Blech. Sorry. CM Punk. Hey, that's what you get for saying something, Jessica. And that's a nice patch auto there of Ethan Page, 50 out of 99. 50 out of 99. Yeah, that's a nice patch right there. That's what happens when you say something, Jessica. Nice call. Rhea Ripley on the ringleaders. Rage of Randy K. Orton. Yeah, well, you need to start complaining if you want something, guys. Apparently that works. That is Shockmaster. That is numbered 29 out of 125 on the green electric Shockmaster. How about the Brahma Bull? The Rock. That's nice. That's a cool card. The Final Boss. The GOAT of debuts. Ain't that the truth? There is Candice LeRae. 80 out of 125. 80 out of 125 on the green electric. Rage of Ken Shamrock. Jey Uso has been requested. This is box number 12. This is the last box. That is Austin Theory on the Flair. Nice Undertaker card. I love that. That is sick. Our next auto goes to the yesterday fired Road Dogg Jesse James. Road Dogg Jesse James on the auto, not numbered. Three packs to go. That is EO Sky on the Flair. Remarkable returns of Seth frickin' Rollins. Yeah. The way my cases have been coming, I'm telling you. That is Chico. Dazzling debut of Scott Hall. Rage of Psycho Sid. And our last pack. Penta. There is International Impact of Damian Priest. That is Jordan Grace on the rookie rings. Rookie rings. Ray. That's it, my friends. There is your break. There is your Topps Universe break. All right, let's go ahead and get a recap in. All right, we're going to start with to $3.99. To $3.99. Here we go. We got Nathan Frazier. There's Chelsea Green. Triple H. Nick Aldis. There is Julius Creed. Undertaker. Eddie Guerrero. That one goes to Stone Cold. That is Charlie Dempsey. Rhea. DDP. Hogan. That is Julia. And Mankind. My pleasure, guys. My pleasure. This is to 175. We got Trish. Roman. Thea Hale. Road Dogg. Damian Priest. And Tongaloa, yes. Tongaloa. To 125, Candice LeRae. Shockmaster. That is Chris Sabin. Floyd Mayweather and Bailey. To 99, we got Kofi Kingston. Roman. And R-Truth. To 75, KO, Stephanie Vaquer, Jay Uso, and The Rock. To 50, Drew McIntyre, Rhea Ripley, and Chyna. To 25 on the Orange Warp, we got Remarkable Returns, Seth frickin' Rollins, and Scarlett. Our Forever Factions, we got the New Day, the Bloodline, D-Generation X, and the NWO. I'm going to save, those are the case hits, I'm going to save them. Save those. Alright. Our patches to $2.99, Julius Creed, Akira Tozawa, And to 275, Batista. We also had to 299, that is Nikita Lyons. To 199, Wade Barrett, RVD, and Seth frickin' Rollins. These are to 99 is Liv Morgan. Asuka was to 50. Kane to 50. And Gunther to 50. Our autos, not numbered. We got the Road Dogg, Shotzi, Bret Hart, Dante Chen, Adam Pearce, Candice LeRae, Raquel Rodriguez, Sandman, who has twins, Bradshaw, that is Mankind, Hogan, Nikita Lyons, Malik Blade, Rikishi, Tonga Loa, to 199, Trick Williams. That is to 99, Farouk. Damn. And to 50, Jerry the King Lawler. We had a to 99 auto of Sol Ruka. Patch autos. This is Ethan Page to 99. Ethan Page to 99. There is Natty on the patch auto to 99. Lyra Valkyria, 19 out of 50 on the patch auto. That is a sick one to 25 of Scarlet. That is just so cool. Then we have Braun Breaker to 99. We had Mask. I'm going to guess that's a case hit also of the Ultimate Warrior. And then this is also a case hit of Batista. And I don't know what this case hit's name is, but that is sick too. There you go. What about the Vaquer on the namesake? It was, I think, to 75. Alright guys, there's your break. Appreciate you all for being here. Hope to see you again. Just red, white, and blue stars. You know what? I said that was just a red, white, and blue stars, but you guys all said it was a case hit. Either way, I'm top loading it, so. Oh yeah, it was nice, wasn't it? Alright, you guys are the best. Appreciate you all for being here. Hope to see you all next time. Have a great night and have a great, great week. Talk to you later. Peace.